Up next on the Sports Hit List.
Can you name me one? Can anybody on this panel name in any of the major sports? Since you said we only gonna go to college, any of the major sports. Name me one coach who was fired after going to the championship the year before, and their team was in first place when they got fired. Name one. Ready, set, go.
If you cannot lead, if they don't follow, you have to go.
If LeBron wants him there, he's gonna be there.
Carl Coulange, Greg Polius in the pink shirt, Kenny Irby, Coach Womack, Anthony. We are the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. We'd like to thank you for watching our show and continued support. Today's topic is called Coach Killers. That's why we have Coach Womack sitting in the middle because he is a coach for St. Francis College, and we wanted to bring this topic. Coach Killers, David Blatt got fired by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Coach Womack wrote a blog that stirred up some trouble, and him and Kenny were going back and forth on Facebook about it. So today I figured we'd talk about the Coach Killers and talk about how players impact with coaches.
I wish I wasn't blocked so I can actually see what Kenny had to say.
You're blocked, you can't see anything.
No, I can't see anything Kenny has to say on Facebook.
Well, don't worry, Greg is a master at snapshotting the
all
photos.
right, so I got
send it to
you.
you.
I got you. All right.
But getting back to the topic, Coach Womack, you wrote a blog about David Blatt getting fired abruptly right before the All-Star break, and they hired Tyronn Lue to replace him. Can you explain to us your blog and how you felt about that? And of course, you being a coach, I'm sure it hit you a little.
I mean, honestly, me being a coach, that really doesn't happen in college basketball, and I coach college basketball, so it wasn't really like a personal thing for me. Mm-hmm. It was more on the fact that a team had success last season. They went to the NBA Finals. They were 2 games away from possibly beating one of the best teams in recent NBA history, in the Warriors. And they took them to, I think it was, 6 games, or 5 games? Six games without 2 of their best 3 players.
And they were up 2-1.
And they were up 2-1. Now, this is a coach who came in first place in the division, and he was let go because they said the team was not going the right way. What's the right way? I mean, like, it seemed like he may have had some problems with some people in the organization, and then just say that. See, my thing is not about being firing. It's the reasons why they said he was fired. No one just came out and just said, oh, he's fired because he doesn't get along with such and such. They try to say, oh, he's not going the right way. We don't think it's working for both parties.
There was a lot of rumors about locker room issues in terms of the players weren't responding to him well. And I know, Kenny, you had a lot to say about it, and you were referring to that when we discussed it.
Right. I guess my take, I'm not a coach, never been a coach, don't want to coach, but I feel like in the pro game, they're not as much as a commodity as the players. And the coaches, he's not the first coach to let go after a successful season, but it was unusual that he got let go in the middle of the season, although I felt it was the right call because he wasn't hired for a championship team. He was hired for an up-and-coming team who was just trying to build something, a foundation to go to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden he lucked up, he got LeBron James, the best player in the world at the time. And then now they're going to the championship. You know what I mean? So now they're going to the championship. So I think it's one of those cases where they didn't believe in the leadership. And sometimes, even if you win or lose, it's who you're going down with. If you don't believe who you're going to battle with, if you lose, you're going to second guess everything you did. If you lose with somebody you believe in, at least you know I did everything I could, and we left it all on the line, and we had the right strategy. It just didn't work.
So they didn't believe. You're thinking they don't believe in Blatt?
They didn't believe in Blatt. I think the management didn't believe in Blatt. The players didn't believe in Blatt. And if you watch the games, he looked clueless on the games. He looked clueless on the sidelines.
I will say this: so there are a couple of times we've seen Tyronn Lue calling plays behind his back.
That happens a lot, but that happens a lot in coaching.
Well,
I know. I can tell you, coaches. There's certain coaching staffs where in college and NBA, the head coach does not draw up the plays. They have an assistant whose specific mindset is to draw up X and O plays, and that's their job. So that's not unheard of in sports. It's called leaving your ego at the door. As a coach, you have to leave it at the door as well.
He delegated
if
that
he
job
has
to
the
him.
delegation is like being the president of the United States. Do they do everything? No. You have to delegate your powers to certain individuals so your team can be good. Now, you had a great point. You said he was not put to coach a championship team. Well, he took them to the championship as a coach, and they were 2 games away from winning it with 2 of their top 3 players not playing. Name me any other team.
Okay, 1 second. Police is spied over there in his pink shirt, so I got to get to him at some point.
Can I ask you a question? What does my pink shirt have to do
I don't know.
with
It's just bright. It's just there. To me, it's just standing out.
Honestly, I feel it's fashionable. Go ahead with your bad self, bro.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate
So
that.
my question
Flame
to you
on,
is,
flame on, brother.
Flame on. Don't do that.
So my question to you, Greg, is: do you feel LeBron is a coach killer? Because there are a lot of rumors swirling around that LeBron had a decision to Blatt getting fired. Is that a thing? What do you think?
I think in today's NBA, the superstars are the ones who make the decisions, not necessarily all the front office guys. Because if you
How much of a percent, not to cut, but how much of a percent do you think the superstars make that decision?
percentage,
Depends on the superstar.
yeah, it depends on the superstar.
agree.
Every superstar is different. You know, I'm pretty sure Melo has a decision and has a say in front office decisions as far as who's coming, who's going. Why wouldn't LeBron have a decision in David Blatt getting fired? That's how I feel like if LeBron wants him there, he's gonna be there.
Okay. Anthony, we didn't get to you yet.
Also,
We know your opinions
it's
a little.
not just the players. Another thing that's not talked about because it's not necessarily publicly known. There's about 5 agents that control majority of the players. So it's really also the agents are the ones with the power. The agents with the right superstars and the right players on their team. Those are the guys with the real power, not necessarily just the superstars.
Do you agree to their point in terms of the players run in terms of a
100. This is a. We talk about different sports. College is a coaches forum. Like the coaches stay longevity. The schools go behind their coach. NBA goes behind the player because players switch and free agency happens so much. You want to stack your chips and have the best players on your team, but that goes to management as well. Certain management has to make a decision and say, okay, listen, we're gonna stand here, we're gonna stand there. There was some words thrown out there that LeBron didn't necessarily believe in Eric Spoelstra.
yes, I
That
heard
was
one
thrown
too.
out
I
there.
did.
There's a lot of reports
But
saying
Pat
that.
Riley stuck up for
But
him.
Pat Riley
Stuck
said,
up
no,
right.
this is my guy. I'm going not only because it's Eric Spoelstra, I'm going to run this team. When you leave, because you may leave, I'm still going to have to run this organization. The fact Cleveland did it because they know they will never be able to get. Let's be honest. In free agency, not a lot of top free agents are going to go there
No
after the
one wants to go
LeBron
to
era.
Cleveland.
After the LeBron era,
No.
it's going to be
owns
quiet.
Cleveland. That's the reason
It's
he's
gonna,
back.
so he
Yeah.
owned Cleveland,
He owned
and so what is the manager going to say? They already apologized for what they did to him and burning jerseys, and the whole city apologized. You think they're going to say, oh, no, you don't want this coach? You're going to have to deal with it? No, whatever you want. You want
then-
Tyronn Lue, we
okay.
give you Tyronn
Okay,
Lue.
so speaking of Tyronn, thanks for my transition there. Tyronn Lue has no experience as a coach, so wouldn't LeBron say, you know what, there are a lot of available coaches out there. Wouldn't he say, let me go get
has
an
He
experienced
don't
coach?
want to coach.
Yeah, exactly.
He
That was
doesn't
my
want
next
to coach.
point.
LeBron wants to coach himself.
So that's
Well,
why
not
you
coach
want to,
himself. He wants to be
So that's
the
why you
leader.
pick up a coach who has no experience, so you can boss around and tell him what to do. Is that what you're trying
But
to
he
say?
does have experience. He's the guy who come off the Phil Jackson branch.
He came off the Doc Rivers. But I'm talking in terms of a coach that has success. And a perfect example I'll say is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson took the Warriors to 50-win seasons back-to-back, and he's available, and he hasn't been called. Why didn't LeBron go with a coach that has a resume instead of trying to give it to Tyronn Lue?
Because like Womack said, he doesn't want to be coached.
Well, he wants to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that. LeBron wants to be coached by somebody he's comfortable with. Put it like that.
He can tell what to do.
No, not tell what to do necessarily. Someone that he can actually. Because LeBron, I'm not gonna say it like this. LeBron knows the game. LeBron has knowledge for the game. LeBron can coach if he wants to when his career finishes. So what do coaches who respect players do that understand the game? You come in their office and you talk to them like you're equals. And you say, hey, this is what I see. I don't see this. I don't see that. I don't think LeBron was comfortable with Blatt to do that. He already undermined Blatt and thought Blatt wasn't good enough
On
to coach him
several
because he
occasions.
wasn't an NBA lifer. So anyone who's been an NBA lifer, LeBron felt
But
comfortable.
also,
I just have a couple points to make. One, the Blatt being fired, even though he was 2 games away from winning the championship, it was LeBron James who brought them to that championship. It wasn't his great coaching job. LeBron James has been to the last 5 NBA finals with 2 different coaches. It's him, because you see what happens to those teams after he leaves those teams.
Right.
The Heat were 5 games under 500 before Bosh even got hurt. So don't tell me the point that he didn't miss half the season. They weren't doing well when he was there. And then so Eric Spoelstra was with the Miami Heat. He came up through the ranks of the Miami Heat. So he had history with Pat Riley and everybody before that even happened. Blatt just came in. He's supposed to revolutionize their offense. He didn't do that. They got LeBron James. They threw everything that he had in mind to build up that team out the window
But let me
to cater to LeBron.
But here's another point we're forgetting.
Exactly, they didn't
He's missing
revolutionize.
2/3 of his big 3. Kyrie Irving played
I
one
understand
game.
that.
Kevin Love didn't play the series at all. Isn't that a factor in them losing?
Let
2?
me see you cook breakfast without 3 of your fingers.
but also,
Let me see you do
Also,
that. Let's see if your
Let me ask you
breakfast
let
comes
me
out
ask
the
you a
same way,
question.
buddy.
Let me ask you a question.
Come on now.
How many arms do you need to pitch to pitch in baseball?
You need one.
Only one?
You need your legs
You only
too.
want- and legs?
Right?
Mike Abbott.
You
Was it
got-
Abbott?
Nah,
he was
man, I don't
Jim
know where
Abbott
you
had
going.
no arm. He had one
one
arm. One arm. And he's still pitching in Major League
Listen,
Baseball.
that's a different sport. We talking about a team sport.
Did a kid not just play basketball with one hand?
but let's
He
also
played.
talk about
How was their
the-
team doing? Horrible.
What
My
about
point is, LeBron James led them to the championship.
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't the great coaching job.
Okay.
So Eric Spoelstra
Hold
has
on.
nothing to do with
They
that.
made up for a lot of his
One
mistakes.
can say
Like
a
having
great-
LeBron inbound the ball
One
and
can
things like that.
One second, let him go.
One can say a great coach knows the personnel that he has, and if you have a superstar like LeBron, you coach around him. Other coaches have egos and then say, no, it's me
All right, so
over
here's
the
my
player.
question. Here's
So
my
some
question.
can say David Blatt took the step back and say, you know what, I'm going to let this leader lead us, and I'm just going to coach and
Here's
put
the
other
question
people in
for you.
place.
He had no experience in the NBA before
here's
that,
a
right?
question for you now. Do players make coaches or do coaches make players?
First of all, I think we have to get this clear. The NBA is not high school, it's not
Right.
college.
Yeah. Okay.
These people are getting played, these are grown men, they
developing
know the game of
themselves.
basketball.
Right.
What's the point on that?
The point of that is it's a player's game. The players know what they're doing.
But
if
what's-
they don't believe in the coaches, they got to get them out of there.
But you,
So
that's,
you're saying all the players
In
that
co-
so
in-
all
in
the
college-
coaches that get fired is because the players don't believe
that
in them?
is
No,
ridiculous.
Okay, let me throw out some names.
Look what happened to
It might be
McHale.
ridiculous,
How about
but that's how it is.
McHale was-
Derek McHale out of the Western Conference Finals. He got
He probably would have got fired if they didn't go to that conference finals. That conference finals saved them another offseason. And then when they started off bad, they were 29th in the league in defensive efficiency that season.
But
and
4-7?
They
They're
were
not
supposed
even-
to be
it's
making.
4-7?
Listen, like I told you, he was probably going to get canned before the season. He had one. Now let's listen to this too. It goes more than just playing. He had only 1 year left on his contract, meaning that after that season they were going to look for a new coach, except for if he won the championship. So what did they do? They gave themselves an entire year to give an interim tag to someone, and they gave themselves an entire year to figure out if they need a new coach.
Can I ask you a question?
He was there for 4 years,
Can I
though.
ask a question though? Starting 4-7, does James Harden not participating in training camp and Dwight Howard being hurt at the beginning of the season factor into the 4-7 start? If your star players are not ready to play, is that his fault?
No, that's not his fault. That's not his fault at all.
So
then
why
why would he
would that
get fired?
justify him getting
Like I
fired
said,
then?
they were looking to remove him from before. They didn't. And
before
hold on.
what?
Just like
If they
Blatt,
made-
they were
wait,
looking to
he made
remove
finals.
Blatt from
How are they
before.
going to look to remove him if he makes the Western Conference Finals?
Because I said the Western Conference Finals saved him his job.
He's
He is
56 and
He is
26.
on record as saying, I knew something was wrong is when we've had more meetings, team meetings in the last 6 weeks than we've had in my last 4 years here as a coach. Go research it and find that quote. That's what he said. When your team is meeting week in and week out because there's issues, that's not just people on the court issues. That's a whole philosophy issue. And obviously they weren't gelling as a team, so they felt it was time for a change.
The same
That's
with
a different-
Blatt.
No, that's not different from Blatt. They
It's
were
the
in
same.
First, Blatt was in first
No, but
place.
go back to what you
First
just said.
place.
How did the team feel though
There's no
about
quote.
Blatt?
There's no
You know,
quote.
there's
There's
Nobody
a
came
lot
out
of
and said,
them.
No. There's only
There's,
that one
there's even
article.
footage. There's a lot of footage of just like people tried to make tried to make a big deal out of them always going to Tyronn Lue. But there's footage also, and there's Braun on record saying how he changed the plays. Blatt wanted him
That
to inbound
shows
the
his
ball.
disrespect.
And then,
That shows
it's
disrespect
not.
for
That
the
shows
coach.
just like you said, his knowledge for the game.
Yeah, but if
I'm
he's
try-
saying I changed the play, that's some
'Cause he's
Willie
trying to
Beeman
win the
type joint.
game.
He Willie
He's
Beeman
trying to
now.
win the
He
game.
Willie Beam him now.
No,
he
he's trying to
Willie
win the
Beamed him.
game.
So
He
wait,
said
a
call
player
an
is
audible.
allowed
He
to-
changed his play.
I mean,
Okay.
a player's allowed to even do that, change a coach's play?
Yes.
Like,
I feel like even if you change a play, you don't go in a press conference
And say you changed
disrespect
it.
the
He's a-
coach by saying you changed the play.
It's the same thing. Obviously,
man.
that tells you that they
LeBron
didn't
is a
want him
great
there.
player. He's a great player. He's a great player.
Let me say one thing. What happened to David Blatt is the same thing that happened to all these other coaches that got fired before him. It just got expedited.
Right.
They just didn't wait till the offseason.
Paul
They
Westhead.
got it out there.
Can you name me one? Can anybody on this panel name in any of the major sports? Since you said we only gonna go to college, any of the major sports, name me one coach who was fired after going to the championship the year before, and their team was in first place when they got fired. Name one. Ready, set, go.
I don't know if Paul.
No, I don't hear ready, set. I just want to hear.
Listen,
I don't hear
listen.
person. Ready, set, go.
It never happened.
Silence of the lambs.
It never happened. But
That's what I'm
Paul
saying.
West
It
had won
never
a
happened.
championship, and they got him out of there still.
Let's just speak about
Because
it.
he was-
David Blatt is from. Like you said, you were right about this. He wasn't an NBA person,
Right.
so he had no leverage, and I'm cool with that. LeBron wasn't with him. I'm even cool with that. You know what I was really most upset about? And you can read my blog. No one had the fortitude to say this is why we're firing him.
They never do.
They never.
No.
They
The
don't do
GM said that when they
Yeah.
fired Kevin McHale. Like I said, go research again. He said why we're firing him. Our defense is not picking up. We thought he was going the
Just
right
like you
way.
said,
the other
certain
point that
That
organizations.
GM is going to be on the chopping block too.
But you
Yeah,
know what?
no fortitude.
But you know what?
No
The
fortitude.
other point I think you made in your blog is about how the players have to take responsibility too.
Yes.
Not
Like
just the
LeBron
coaches.
should have just stepped up and be like, listen, yeah, I wasn't listening to him because I didn't think he was just saying the right things. But you know what? I feel we need someone else. This is why we're going to
Remember, LeBron owns the
Okay.
team, right?
All
so
right,
what
so-
was this, a spin job around us not having this conversation of, is LeBron a coach killer? Because that's what all of it was for. That's why the lies was for. Everything was so you can't say
So he is.
LeBron got the coach fired. Just like he had to come out and say, which he didn't have to come out and say, oh, I had nothing to do with it.
All
They
right.
didn't ask me.
All right.
I think coaches kill themselves by not either ingratiating themselves more with the players or
What was that?
ingratiate.
Ingratiate?
Yes.
Okay, Wall Cloud Frazier.
Yes. You know what I mean? I've been reading a little bit. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Swiss cheese
if you don't, one part of being a coach, of course, is being as they say, the cliche leader of men. If you cannot lead, if they don't follow, you have to go.
All right, well, that'll do it here for the Sports Hit List. Thank you for watching. Please continue to follow us on YouTube and all social media sites. We'll see you next time.